Tonight on Ramblers Unleashed. How busy of a week was it in pro wrestling? What did the Baron do now? How overwhelmed is Dizzy with picking stories this week? Why is Max in a different place than normal? All of this and more next on Ramblers Unleashed.
The following program may contain language.
Now.
Viewer discretion is advised.
The wrestling podcast that sets all other podcasts apart. Covering news from the world of WWE, AEW, TNA, and more. Your favorite weekly episodic podcast, Ramblers Unleashed, starts now.
I don't like heel Max in Chicago. I like heel Max back in Colorado. I'm just saying. What's going on? Welcome to your Tuesday Night Delight. It is Ramblers Unleashed, and we are here to, dive into some of the biggest stories that we've got for the fallout of Wrestlepalooza, the fallout of AEW All Out in Toronto. We also have some TNA news that we need to talk about tonight, but let's go ahead and do our intros as we always do. And first up, the neighborhood heel, Chicago style, a man with more wrestling knowledge in his pinky finger than Tony Khan could ever muster up with his toy figures. And the only guy that I know that pops bigger for Joel Gertner than anybody else that I know. You can address him as Mr. Magius, but we call him the mighty Maximus Magius. Golfers clap. Max, how is Chicago, sir?
Oh, Chicago's great. But yet again, we had an agreement last week, and we haven't fulfilled it yet.
You haven't sent it to me.
I did. I resent it last week during the show.
I don't see it. Baron, did you see it? I didn't see it. If Baron didn't see it, I
scrolled all the way back to it, shared it to myself, and then shared it to you.
He's gonna have to do that again. I think.
But the thing is, you can't. So why? I just don't want it to be like too much of the Max Magius show.
Look, all I'm asking is for you to play it one time at the start of the show because I took the time to record it. That's all I'm asking for.
But I don't see it. You'll just have to send it to me private. Don't send it to our chat. Just send it to me private.
There's a lot going on in that chat. There's a lot of conversations.
Dude, there is so much going on in that chat, and you can't blame me. But Max, is Chicago treating you okay?
Oh yeah. I'll be honest. I do kind of want to get home. I kind of miss being at home, but Chicago's been pretty good.
When do you go home officially?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
I will leave here at 1 in the least important time zone to get to the airport to fly out at 3 in the least important time zone. And I will land around 4:30 in the only time zone that matters, mine.
Well, all right. Well, we hope that you have a safe flight back to Colorado and get into the time zone that you like, even though it's not right. Max, we have your we'll go from the desk of Max Magius coming up a little bit later on in the program. Last but not least, the man that is higher than a 747 jet airliner and our resident happy guy whose catchphrase is and will always be Baron, please.
420.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, clap for the one and only Baron. The golfers clap, sir. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Glad to be here. Glad to see Max. We missed him on when did we do it? Saturday night. Right. You guys know my days are all fucked.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing great, man. I'm glad to be here as usual. And special shout out to Keith in the chat. Today's his birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, love. Happy birthday, dude.
Yeah, you know what? I love you, Mir, but I would just like to point out that the Bears are a football team and the Panthers play hockey. So you've got no comparison in what you just said. And yeah, I guess happy birthday, Keith, something like that.
This nasty Chicago.
I don't like
Max Magius is the real heels out tonight, folks.
Man,
bear with us tonight. Max is on. He's got the glasses on. You know, there's some heat going on today. Chicago just changed him.
It has changed him. Let's see if, even though he's in Chicago, let's see if he can do his intro the right way. Go ahead, Max.
All right. First off, despite my current mood, as you guys are referring to it as, I would like to say, Courtney, I love you. You're still my favorite. But I would like to point out that she just reminded me that we have to do some picks tonight, too.
Oh, we do. Yeah, we do have to do our No Mercy picks.
Fuck, another show already?
Well, it's NXT.
Yeah, but still, it's like, holy shit, okay.
And listen, after what happened tonight, I'm all about making picks for No Mercy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that there's some fallout from tonight that adds to No Mercy on Saturday. And to that end, I have now pasted the card for Saturday in our group chat. And I will get the notepad for it prepared. And I will also give away the results of our picks for Wrestlepalooza at some point tonight. It will not be right now. It might be right before we do the picks for No Mercy. I don't know. I've got other stuff I got to do right now first. So, you'll just have to wait and see when I'm in the mood to give out the results from Saturday. But don't worry, I have them loaded up because I am a professional no matter what these people here say.
Wow, man. Chicago has changed you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this show would not be possible without the people that I'm about to introduce. That's me. Why are you pointing to me? Why?
Not you. Not you. Gosh,
you got to work on your aim because that went like this directly at me. That was anyway. Ladies and gentlemen,
even if I do this is at you.
What?
I'm just going to poke your head. I'm just going to poke your head. Go.
You know what? I don't have my beating stick with me. It's sitting next to my desk at home. But don't you worry, it's coming. Now, ladies and gentlemen, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you.
Thank you.
Without you, there would be no show. We'd be three idiots, two idiots and me sitting here talking to each other. So I want you to give it up for the other member of the Ramblers, all of you right over here in this chat off to my side. Give yourselves a round of applause. And everybody give the birthday boy a whack upside the head for his birthday. Ordinarily in my world, we do chops, but I'm going to be nice and make it give slaps for you tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, that brings us to, well, he's my best friend. And, that says something. And, without him, we wouldn't have the identity of the Ramblers. We'd just be those idiots and Max. So, ladies and gentlemen, the man with the golden voice, the man who puts all your stories together. This man works harder than all of us combined to make this show successful. So give it up for Dizzy.
Thank you. Very nice of you to say, Max. I'm glad that was at least nice. I mean, that was we're making progress, Max. That's what it's all about. We're making progress here.
Listen, I got my own reputation to uphold. I'm not going to mess that up.
Yeah, I know. We are live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Ramblers Unleashed. Plus, we're live on X. And tonight, we're live on Facebook. No twitch.tv. We are live on Facebook tonight. So make sure that you give our Facebook page a follow if you're here from Facebook. Thank you for joining us. If you're here from YouTube or if you're on X watching us, thank you for watching us, and we certainly do appreciate you being here. Guys, let's get into some news, man. We got a whole bunch of stuff.
Real quick. I said I have a question of the night myself. You always have a question of the night. I love your question of the night, but I have one for our chatters myself. So before you start, I want to ask my question.
Okay.
And my question is, who better than can't? Oh, sorry, that was the wrong question. Who's ready to ramble?
Oh, I'm ready to ramble. Baron, are you ready to ramble?
Me ready. I'm always ready. I'm in the chat just saying, let's fucking go. Like 8 o'clock.
Tonight, before we even started the show, he was in the chat and he said, I'm tired of work and I'm ready to fucking ramble. So let's go ahead
Let's just fucking ramble.
Let's fucking ramble. WWE.
Not that we haven't rambled for the last 10 minutes.
That's true. That's true. That's what we do best.
Yes.
Wrestlepalooza was supposed to mark the beginning of a $1.6 billion partnership with ESPN in spectacular fashion, but things kind of unraveled pretty fast. After a frustrating night of streaming failures that left many fans locked out, ESPN's own combat sports writer has now graded the show as average, saying only one match saved it from being a total letdown. In post-event review on ESPN's website, Andreas Hale did not sugarcoat his thoughts while calling the women's world championship match between Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer excellent. He admitted the rest of the card did not deliver. In a post-event review on ESPN's website, he said that those expectations were already shaky going into the event. On a media conference call just day before Wrestlepalooza, ESPN's senior vice president of direct-to-consumer, John Lasker, admitted not all ESPN subscribers would have access to the show. And it kind of sucks because how much this was hyped. I mean, ESPN hyped the shit out of Wrestlepalooza and this entire WWE ESPN deal. They brought so much attention to the brand. And for all the issues that they had during the streaming, it felt kind of like a big loss for the company. And some fans were not happy about these technical issues during Wrestlepalooza. What's interesting is that ESPN actually addressed those concerns about access before the PLE even aired. Speaking on a press conference ahead of Wrestlepalooza, John Lasker admitted that not all subscribers would have access to ESPN Unlimited, the tier required to stream WWE events. Here's what he said directly, guys, and I quote, "We're not 100% there today, but over the next couple of months, the vast majority of folks that are subscribed to ESPN through an MVPD will have access to our ESPN Unlimited plan and then therefore have access to all the PLEs to come," end quote. Now, at the time, he clarified that only Spectrum, DirecTV, Fubo TV, Hulu Live TV, and Verizon Fios subscribers actually had access to ESPN Unlimited. Everyone else would have to wait until ESPN expanded availability, pretty much ubiquitous accessibility in the coming months. The warning turned out to be kind of a red flag for what came next, as countless fans ran into login walls, tier confusion, and error screens on the night of Wrestlepalooza, even though ESPN built hours of pre-show programming and had Sports Center broadcasting live from the venue. Those efforts were drowned out by complaints from fans who couldn't even get the stream to start. So the question of the day is, did you have streaming issues with ESPN for Wrestlepalooza? I can tell you that while I was watching it, a buddy of mine, and I had no issues streaming Wrestlepalooza, but a buddy of mine actually had a ton of trouble with his, and it wasn't like login, it was buffer. He said it just kept spinning every 30 seconds. It would go, and then it would just stop, go, and then it just stop. So Baron, did you have any problems?
No, I said on Saturday's show, even with Sean, shout out to Sean, I thought this was like one of the smoothest programs that I've seen. We're not talking wrestling related, guys. That's not what I'm getting at. But I'm saying, like, I have buffering issues on Peacock. I have just stutters from, stuff on Peacock and their previous app even. This one was, for me, was totally fine. I had no issues. I thought the picture was clear. I had no streaming issues whatsoever. I talked about the ads on Saturday. That was a load of bullshit.
Yeah, all those fucking ads.
That pissed me off. But outside of that, man, I thought it looked great.
Yeah, Max, I know you've been in Chicago for a bit. Did you get to watch any of Wrestlepalooza at all?
Oh, I did. I got to watch quite a bit of it before I had to go. Well, I was trying to do laundry, and I had to work part of the morning, so laundry was delayed. So I got to watch more of the pay-per-view or the PLE than I thought I would. The only problem we had was it turns out that the account that Rowdy was on wasn't working, but his wife had her own account, so she sent him the login, and we were able to get on and watch without any problems after that.
Well,
Here's my issue, though.
Mm-hmm.
When the PLEs were on Peacock, yeah, we got the occasional WWE merchandise, WWE at this location type of ads. But over on ESPN, where we're paying double what Peacock was, because Peacock was $12 to $15, or is $12 to $15 for the ad-free tier. Now that it's over there on ESPN, we're paying $30 and getting full-on ads during the PLEs.
Yeah. People are pissed off about that too. Because we've talked about this on the show, man. Everybody's paying so fucking much money to be able to watch Raw, to be able to watch all the PLEs on ESPN, to watch all the PLEs of NXT on Peacock, and it's just ridiculous. And if people are paying and promised no ads, then what the fuck? Why are they even paying that much money? You know, it's ridiculous. I mean, something's got to give. Something has to give, because we're going to talk about WrestleMania tickets. WrestleMania 42 tickets are fucking outrageous and just egregious too, honestly. But let's get into Baron's buzzkill moment thanks to ringsidenews.com. And Wrestlepalooza was actually meant to kick off WWE's $1.6 billion ESPN deal with a bang, but for many fans, it was an absolute disaster from the moment they tried to log in. Now it's been confirmed what many have suspected all along. ESPN never intended to let traditional cable subscribers watch the show. During Fightful's Backstage Report podcast, Sean Ross Sapp addressed the massive confusion over ESPN Unlimited, the new subscription tier required to stream WWE PLEs. Many fans assumed that their existing cable package or ESPN login would work, but it didn't. And according to Sapp, that was always by design. Sapp made it clear that the strategy was deliberate and confirmed by ESPN's own media call leading up to Wrestlepalooza. So they want you to sign up for Hulu. Since they're owned by Disney, Disney owns Hulu, Disney owns pretty much a lot of shit. They want you to sign up for Hulu plus live TV. So according to Google, though, recent reports indicate that the service experienced the loss over 100,000 subscribers in the second calendar quarter of this year. And this aligns, though, with what John Lasker said days before the event. While fielding questions from reporters, John Lasker noted that only Hulu plus live TV, Fubo TV, DirecTV, Spectrum, and Verizon Fios customers could access ESPN Unlimited. Anyone else, would have to wait for ESPN to gradually expand their tier. So, Baron, I know you have Hulu. You said you didn't have any streaming issues with Wrestlepalooza, but I had a friend, again, tell me he had a problem with the ESPN app, which is what they were pushing so hard, not Hulu plus live TV. So your thoughts?
I'm sorry, because I just popped up my email for a second. I just seen I had an email literally from Hulu about a plan changing, and I thought upcoming. Yeah, it says upcoming Hulu price change.
Is it going up?
There's too much to read here, fellas. $99.99 is what I'm getting. That's Hulu Premium plus Live TV, Disney Plus Premium, and ESPN Select Plan will increase to $99.99.
So yeah,
$99.99. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why the point. And then HBO Max is an additional $16.99. So it looks like it might have went up just a little bit because there was a special deal with that huge package that it was like 80 something or 70 or something like that when I originally got it.
This is effective October 21st of this year for most plans, including ad-supported and ad-free tiers.
Yep, that's exactly what it says here. Yeah, I got that email in my box. So I just had to read it, not to get sidetracked. But yeah, dude, it's insane. That's over $100. That's almost more than you're paying for cable TV anymore, right? Like, depending on the packages you get with cable TV anymore, because you have to add packages to your cable TV. So, like, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's cheaper or not really. But I do know that it's complete bullshit. You got to buy that entire package.
It is. It's complete bullshit because I feel like we're getting fucking duped over and over and over again.
Yeah, I guess 37 years on life, I'm just so used to getting screwed and fucked over on things. So it's just another thing, right? Like,
but if they're telling people one thing and then completely doing the opposite, it not only causes confusion, but it's gonna fucking turn people away. It's not gonna help you build whatever this is, the thing that you're fucking hyping, which is this app. I guess this is the greatest app ever made. And people are just going to get fucking fed up with it. They'll say, well, we can't watch anything on the fucking thing, so I'm just going to cancel my subscription. You know, I'm kind of with the fans on this. It's bullshit. And again, I'm not advising anything, but as Stephanie McMahon said, use a fucking VPN, you know?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get logged in my Hulu account. I really got to see what that price jump is for me.
Well, I mean, so I had it up. It is Hulu with ads increasing by $2 to $11.99 per month. Hulu Premium with no ads remains $18.99 per month. Disney Plus with ads increases by $2 to $11.99. The premium with no ads increases to $18.99. ESPN Select increases to $12.99 a month, and Hulu, Disney Plus and Hulu bundle with ads is $12.99 per month. So it's raising by $2, and that's according to Google, which is still bullshit.
Well, yeah, it's absolute bullshit, right?
Absolute bullshit. But I mean, we'll
what can you do now at this point? Like,
well,
I have it. I mean, like you got the wrestling on there. I'm fucking forced to watch it. They got my ass. That's sad to say, but like
that's what they're trying to do. I mean, fuck, they've lost 100,000 subscribers, so they're trying to get people. They're trying to get them got, man, and that's just bullshit. How their fucking marketing tactics are just fucked on this.
So I saw a meme on Facebook yesterday. It was talking about the cost of being a pro wrestling fan, the annual cost of being a pro wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it saying some number like $1,200 or something like that. But I just found a meme. I went Googling trying to find that meme, and I sent it over to the chat. The one that I did find, it's not the same number I read yesterday, but this one does seem pretty accurate if you look at the numbers. That over 1,000 sounded a little high. It depends on what all you're subscribing to, but the meme I sent over, I think, is pretty accurate for the cost of your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it says being a WWE fan in the U.S. will now cost you $516 per year, which, if you think about it, if you're going to the shows and you're watching it on ESPN Plus and you're watching it on Hulu and you're watching it on Peacock, it's even more. $516 gets you a fucking nosebleed seat at a live show.
Look, you want to recoup your costs. Don't do it by alienating the people that made the company what it is. And this isn't about WWE, because if Triple H controlled ticket prices, I don't think we'd be seeing this jump in costs. This is about TKO. I know you guys want to recoup your costs, but come on. You know, you're making it really hard to continue being a wrestling fan. And maybe I'm not the audience you're after. Maybe I'm not the clearly Green Shirt guy is at the show every single night. And so that means he's either got some money or you guys are giving him seats. So maybe I'm not the audience you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for an audience that's got money, you know? And the thing is, they're not the ones that built this.
Yeah.
They're not the ones that made wrestling what it is today.
Right.
You want to continue that upward trend, then stop charging so much for people to be wrestling fans.
Absolutely. Yeah. Stop charging us for stop charging us so damn much for what we love. I mean, we came from the generation when it was $59.99 for a fucking pay-per-view. And then we watched Raw and SmackDown on cable. You know, SmackDown was on UPN. Raw bounced around between TNN and Spike and USA. And we're used to that, man. We're used to that. We're used to having all the PLEs or the pay-per-views on pay-per-view and have it as one fucking price, not a monthly fee to be able to watch all the fucking pay-per-views that we want. Just let us pick and choose which ones we want to see. Baron.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we talk about it weekly at this point. I totally agree. I mean, like, this is what happens when you sell to a multi-corporation, you know, like,
yeah.
It's not surprising at all.
Yeah.
Will I still pay? Probably. Fortunately, I'm able to do that, and it's not. My problem isn't just with the WWE thing here. I have a long-standing problem with the whole app itself, anyways. Meaning, you don't have anything on there to watch, man. Even with the Hulu Live, like, the movies are old. There's no new movies that pop up on there at all.
Mm.
Like, that shit just pisses me off more than the wrestling thing does.
Yeah. I mean, what else are we supposed to do? Just stop watching wrestling? Do they want us to fucking quit? Let us know in the chat your thoughts on X. If you're on Facebook watching us, or if you're on YouTube, let us know your thoughts. If you think that they're alienating their fans, because we definitely think they are, and fans are letting their frustrations be known about this whole ESPN app. And Body Slam Net's Cassidy Haynes was one of the first to put a spotlight on this issue. He posted a screenshot that showed a dreaded error message, unable to access this event. Along with the image, he sarcastically wrote, quote, "Well, glad this new gimmick is working smoothly," end quote. Not that one post triggered a flood of responses from other people who had the exact same problem. One disappointed fan admitted they subscribed specifically for big matches and couldn't even watch them. They said, "This entire thing is a joke. I have the same thing as you do, and they want more money. I barely watch anything under the WWE banner, but really wanted to see Brock and Cena along with AJ. Oh, well, I wish WWE well in their future endeavors," end quote. Others said even when they did manage to log in, the process was a nightmare. A frustrated user explained, quote, "Took me about 10 tries to connect, already had my provider connected, and it still kept taking me to buy the plan." This is nothing new from the ESPN app. It's awful when trying to watch almost anything, end quote. I mean, guys, with ticket prices skyrocketing, which we're going to get to WrestleMania 42 ticket prices too. They're fucking stupid. But Max, having to subscribe to what feels like 10 different services to even watch WWE, it's going to leave fans to hightail it from the company, like we just said, you know, and it's sad, but if we can't afford to watch what we love so much, then they're excluding us.
I mean, if they keep this up, this show is going to be rambling about AEW, and then we're never going to hear the end of it from Baron, because, you know, he's going to have, it's going to be like the ECW review days again.
You won't hear anything from Baron. That's what's going to happen.
all he's going to do is bitch and moan about how all we're doing is reviewing shitty wrestling, and I can't disagree with him. You know, so, you know, I've said it before. I will say it again. You know, TKO needs to open their eyes and realize, yeah, this is a business and you're in it to make money. But if you hurt the people that support you, what's the point? The people that made this business what it is. And Keith, you make a really good point. We have the power. Here's the problem. I'm a little bit weak. We're seeing the retirement of John Cena. There's no way I can boycott before that's over with, because God damn, I followed that guy since day one. I've got to see how it ends for him. And number two, they just brought back AJ Lee, and we talked about this last week. AJ Lee was the catalyst for the changes in the women's division when she tweeted out, "Give Divas a chance." She was one of 3 women that had an indie background. It was her, Paige, and Natty at the time, and they made that division what it is. They worked with the other women in the division and made it special. I can't walk away from the return of AJ Lee at this point because she's legitimately one of the best things to ever happen to pro wrestling.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I want to highlight what Keith said too. They're about to lose all the money. Well, no, they're not going to lose money. They're going to continue to get the fans. They're going to continue to get the fans that can actually afford to be at their fucking shows. What they're going to lose,
green shirt guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. What they're going to lose is just what Max said. The generational fans, the fans that have been there since day fucking one, the fans that have been there watching wrestling from the Chase in St. Louis. If you're from St. Louis, you know exactly what wrestling at the Chase is. They're going to lose the fans that watch the Monday Night Wars. They're going to lose the fans that they made us choose which brand we wanted to fucking be a part of, WWF or WCW. They made us choose if we wanted to be DX or NWO. They made us choose if we were Stone Cold Steve Austin or if we were with Bret the Hitman Hart when he jumped ship to WCW. We remember all of that. We remember all of it. So stop alienating us. And I don't know if it's Triple H. I don't think it's Triple H alienating us. I don't think he has any power to do that. It's TKO.
I am positive it is not Triple H.
Yeah, it's at this point in my mind, it is absolutely TKO. And at some point, Triple H has to have a fucking breaking point and say, you are going to drive every person that we've built away. We've built this brand around these people, these actual fans that want to be here. And it sucks because these rich people, the people that actually can afford to go to these shows, do they even know who these people are walking down to the ring? We're invested into this story. We're invested into every single storyline that WWE puts out. Do they even know who the fuck they are? Are they just cheering because the next guy beside them are cheering? You know? Or are they just chanting what they want to chant because the next guy over there is chanting something? They're like, oh, we got to fucking fall in line. They don't even know what the fuck it means, probably. Which sucks. It's sad. And it, again, it just goes to show that TKO, this whole TKO thing was a fucking disaster. It was a mistake. I wish that we could get out of it, but at this point, we have no fucking other alternative. Unless we just absolutely boycott WWE, and I don't want to boycott the WWE. But something is going to break. Something is going to break. Something has to be done.
I would like to respond to something else Keith said.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Keith, I don't mean to keep picking on you. But you said that this is AEW's game. And I'd like to point out a tweet that Dizzy shared yesterday from AEW Neckbeards, who were actually were actually sharing a tweet from the Wrestle Purists. And the tweet says AEW filed to trademark The Demand. AEW Neckbeards said, ironic, considering there is no demand for AEW. And that's, honestly, that's the problem right now. It's,
yeah.
You know, and TNA's improving. Don't get me wrong. They are. But
TNA, right now you have TNA and you have NXT that are working to be the two top brands to be able to compete with one another. And really, they're not in competition. They're working with one another.
Yeah, which is great. However, the story that's taking place right now, that's, as far as I know, mostly taking place on NXT, is a great way where you're working together, but you're competing, because what they did was they put Trick's TNA title on the line against Obafemi and his NXT title, and TNA did not like that. TNA showed up in full force tonight on NXT, and even though I didn't get to watch the actual main event, I will tell you that what I got to see at the end of the show was utter and complete chaos in the ringside area. Inside the ring, it looked like a mixed battle royal from what I was seeing.
Oh, yeah.
Except for two people. Because if you're watching at the very end, Ricky Saints goes to grab the title, and Obafemi said,
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. You have TNA and you have NXT that are set to be really, really good brands. And I don't want to stop watching professional wrestling. I mean, I'm not going to stop watching pro wrestling. I want to continue watching WWE because fuck, I'm invested at this point, and I don't want to do it. By the way, happy birthday, Tyron Hunt. Next Tuesday, you'll be here.
Listen, we're going to be live next Tuesday. I'm not wishing Tyron a happy birthday until then. I'm sorry.
I will, Tyron. Happy birthday to you, brother, and we hope you're here next Tuesday, man. Let's get to from the desk of Max Magius. And outside of all the streaming issues, Max, backstage morale in WWE isn't at an all-time high, but it's far from the miserable days of the Vince McMahon era. So during a Fightful Select Q&A, Sean Ross Sapp confirmed that the current environment is stable, even if PR headaches are making things a little uncomfortable. So wrestlers are still being forced to deal with fallout from controversial partnerships, lawsuits, and questionable talent decisions, but they're not spiraling the way many did during the 2016-2022 stars are reportedly frustrated about answering for any company scandals. But Sapp noted he doesn't ambush them at public appearances. Instead, he checks in privately when possible. And that's what I like about Sean. Here's his direct quote. Because I usually ask the wrestlers things like, what do you do? What do you think about Saudi? What do you think about the lawsuit? What do you think about this person working there? What do you think about them doing this with that person? I asked that privately because I don't think that it's fair to go to a goddamn food pantry like a boys and girls club and shove a camera in people's face and do that. I like to approach with some respect, end quote. While many prefer to speak off the record, the lack of private meltdowns is a kind of a big shift from how things used to be. The honeymoon phase under Triple H, it's fading, let's be honest. But the WWE locker room still appears to be much healthier than it was a few years ago as a place to be. So Max, you ran promotions, or at least manage a few wrestling promotions or wrestlers in the promotions that you've worked for. Now, backstage atmosphere, it is key. It's a key figure to have a stable company and a stable relationship with talent and management, correct?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's important to have a stable, good relationship between talent and management. Good night, Keith. Thank you for being here. It's very important because without that, you have legit friction, and then it's not a safe working environment. Mm-hmm. If you guys don't have respect for each other, you're not going to be as good at watching out for each other. And listen, we all heard the ESPN review, and I actually thought the mixed tag match was actually pretty good Saturday night. And let me be honest about something. If Seth and CM Punk still felt about each other the way they did when CM Punk first made his return to WWE, I don't think that match Saturday night would have been nearly as good as it was, because we'd have to worry about accidents because you're upset. You don't want to be in this match. You don't like this guy. Like, legit don't like this guy, not just because that's the story you're in. And then you don't work as hard to protect each other. Now, I'm not saying Seth or CM Punk would do that. They're both very professional. They're very careful. They know what they're doing. But, as a rule, as human beings, we tend to not be as careful about the people we don't like as we do about the people that we do like. And in the pro wrestling world, if you're going to do a match, you've got to be able to work with the person. You got to be able to trust them in that ring. And if you have issues with each other, How much do you really trust your opponent? How much do you really trust yourself with your opponent? Backstage morale is very important. I've never been in a locker room where there's been much in the way of issues. There have been a few times, a handful of times in more than 20 years where there was a serious issue between multiple people. And I'm not talking like Brett Vince back in the locker room. That's slightly different. We've never been quite that bad. But, if you're good, you keep the people separated that have an issue with each other, not just backstage, but out front, because you don't want the legit heat to take over and something to possibly happen. If your morale is dropping in the locker room, you need to ask yourself why. And part of the problem, I'm going to be honest, and there's a lot of people that are going to blame Triple H for this, but TKO made the deal with Saudi Arabia. I guarantee you that, 100% guarantee you that. That's why WWE is going to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania. And the problem with going to Saudi Arabia is they typically want to pick what they want to see. It doesn't matter what stories you're building, what buildups you had going on. You're going to Saudi Arabia. They're going to get what they paid for. They're going to get what they want to see. And make no mistake about it, Saudi Arabia paid for this pay-per-view.
Oh, absolutely.
And so we're not going to see the matches we should see at WrestleMania 27. Are they going to be good matches? Probably, because it's still good matches, but that doesn't mean we're going to get the stories that we culminate at WrestleMania, the passion, the fire, the show among shows. And that's where the problem comes in. So I guarantee you part of the problem is now that they know that they're going to Saudi Arabia, some of them are already knowing that they're not getting booked for that because Saudi picks who they want. Sammy's going to be there one way or another because them Saudis, they love them some Sammy because he comes out and talks to them like they're his people in their language, and they love that. They eat up Sammy's visits, but there's other people in that locker room that aren't going to get the trip. Maxine was just on Raw last night telling Pierce that she's been training. She wants to have more opportunities, that she's improving. Well, I don't think there's a guarantee that she's going to be one of the people booked for Mania 27 or Mania 2027 because the Saudis pick who they want, and they may or may not pick Maxine. So no matter how hard you've been working, be prepared to be rejected for that trip. And I don't think that's fair. That brings morale down. If somebody has earned their spot, they should get their spot, and the people that are in the audience be damned. I know that one of us is not a big fan of the Jey Uso title run, but the man earned that spot. You cannot deny that he busted his ass to get to that point, especially with all the issues the Usos had. And I stand by, screw you, WWE, for making me care about the Usos again. Because of all their backstage drama, the law enforcement issues that they had. I stopped caring about them, and WWE made me care again. They told a compelling story that made me side with the Usos. Well, TKO sticking their hand into everything. This is not going to be a popular opinion, what I'm about to say next. The Rock sticking his hand into the booking and then disappearing, that didn't help morale. If he had just stayed out of the booking, we probably would have had a better story going than what we ended up with since you disappeared. If you had stuck around and actually made your appearances, it probably would have been better. But why don't you just stay over there in Hollywood now? You know, you can come in every once in a while and MC something. And I love you. Don't get me wrong, Rock. I love you. But you're messing things up. And you taking that priority spot is not helping morale. People like Cena help morale, but there's only so much Cena can do when TKO is causing issues. You need that morale up. You're going to start losing people. We're seeing mass exoduses everywhere because morale is down. And I'm not just talking wrestling. SNL has just lost several people coming into this fall season because morale is down backstage. WWE is going to start seeing people requesting releases because their morale is down. It has a bad effect on what you're trying to do. You need to find a way to get that morale back up. and get your people happy. And it's going to start by keeping your fans happy and keep them behind those people, because I've performed in empty houses and I've performed in front of a crowd of 200-300 people. You can tell the difference. And if you start pissing off the people that have made your company great, it's going to bring morale down, because they're going to stop coming, and you're going to have a quieter audience, a more subdued audience. It's bad. Morale needs to be brought back up.
Yeah. Speaking of spots, let's talk about the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame. And as we all saw on Wrestlepalooza, Undertaker came out and said that Steph is the first inductee of the class of 2026 Hall of Fame during the induction ceremony at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas.
He also said he's inducting her.
He is inducting her. But now fans are highlighting Shane McMahon's contributions to WWE during his time in the company. They cannot be overlooked, since he was a pretty integral part for several years. That's why it's no surprise that there's a push for him to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Shane McMahon's son, Declan McMahon, took to Twitter, or now known as X, and pushed for his father to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, as he said, quote, "Put Shane McMahon there." This comes after Stephanie McMahon was confirmed to be the first inducted into the Hall of Fame next year, which made official during Wrestlepalooza. Since his departure, though, Shane's departure in WWE after WrestleMania 39, Shane McMahon stayed out of pro wrestling, except for the time when it was rumored he was going to possibly join AEW. Thankfully, he didn't. But this was especially after he had a meeting with Tony Khan, but they ultimately couldn't come to an agreement. But Declan McMahon's call to put Shane McMahon on the WWE Hall of Fame has created a whole new discussion about Shane O'Mac's legacy. With decades of work as a performer and executive, many believe his Hall of Fame induction isn't just deserved, it's only a matter of time. So we'll have to see if he will join his sister next year. Now, personally, Shane McMahon totally deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Here's why. He was not only involved in the whole WCW buyout storyline with his dad on TV, he was part of McMahon's little faction. He has just been on TV for so freaking long, but he's also had some really pretty stellar matches too. He was able to do what no other person in Shane's position could do, and that's be able to keep up with the talent in the ring. I mean, the dude's taken some insane bumps. He's thrown off a fucking cage like Mick Foley, and he deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame, just like Stephanie McMahon should be in there. But Baron, you and I were talking during Wrestlepalooza, and WrestleMania 42 is April 18th and April 19th of 2026. You thought it was kind of premature that they came out and said that Stephanie was the first induction into the Hall of Fame, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, typically it's a couple months before WrestleMania that we get announcements, right, Max?
Sometime after Rumble, because you're on the road to WrestleMania, and that's why you want to do it then.
So why so early?
This is another marketing push scheme type of deal with that. I think, like I stated Saturday, I truly believe it's, like, this is their way of, like, they had no announcement for the show. That was the only announcement that entire show was that Hall of Fame. Was that big enough to carry the show? Fuck no, it's not. Right? I think it's premature, and honestly, I don't care if the McMahons are in there. The McMahons literally owned the company. Their father owned the company. They were able to do every single thing they could fucking possibly imagine. And this is another ego boosting thing from Triple H, right? He went in last year. He's on TV all the damn time with these stupid "Are you ready?" shits, and he's in every documentary every 5 seconds. And this is another way to kind of boost that. Does Stephanie deserve to be in? Yes, absolutely. Shane, yes, absolutely, clearly. Vince, Sadly, yes, very much so, more than probably anybody on earth. But Vince was like not wanting to ever be in the Hall of Fame. That's not his thing. He didn't even like go out and introduce people or anything along those lines. He was pretty much hidden for the entire time until like the last 4 years of his run. So man, I just think it's way too early. Good for her. It's great. Let's get some wrestling names in there that deserve to be in there just as much as her, right? Yeah. She, the founding people, you know, the McMahons of all people will always tell you that it's all about the wrestlers, right? And for me to just see her be thrown in there, it's just like there's some political shit going on in the back, right? And I think this has a lot to do with Triple H.
I'm not sure if it's political. I have my own theory here. We just saw Triple H go into the Hall of Fame. Now Stephanie McMahon, and now people are pushing for Shane. Do we think that with Trips going in there first and now Stephanie McMahon, do we think that Triple H is coming to an end? His career in WWE is coming to an end. That's why they're pushing for now Stephanie McMahon, because they already inducted Triple H. Let's induct Stephanie and kind of push him out slowly and have Trips' career be done.
It crossed my mind, right? Like, I think so. I just don't see how anybody else is carrying the load that he can carry, right? Like, he's had years of experience learned underneath Vince McMahon. Like, I just don't see how they would allow that to happen. But if for health reasons he needs to get out, I mean, he just had a pretty fucking serious surgery a few years ago, right? Like, he's getting older and, you know, like, who knows? Like, do they want the McMahons out completely? That could be a possibility. I just think that would be even dumber than everything else we've talked about tonight with TKO if that was something that was going to happen.
Max.
So first off, there have been rumors circulating for the better part of this year that there is a push, not from the locker room, because from what I understand, they love Trips, but there's been a push to possibly get Trips out. I don't know if that's true or not. I've not seen any confirmation. It's mostly people like, you know, that uncle guy that we talk about and make fun of all the time, and other people like him that are reporting that.
He doesn't matter. Fuck him.
Yeah. So as far as whether he's going to willingly retire or choose his retirement time to be soon, I don't think he is. I think he's doing what he really wants to do right now. I think he's got a few years left in him that, you know, he's happy. Maybe another 10, 15, I don't know. I think we've got some time left with him as far as his choice. If we see him go soon, it's not because of a choice that he made. But as far as Stephanie getting inducted, Rowdy made a really good point the other night when Undertaker made the announcement. He thinks that it's possible that the only reason we heard about it this early is because he thinks it's the only way that they could get Steph is you have to surprise her. She's not expecting the announcement to be made now, you know. So if you announce it and very publicly, before we're even in the announcement season, what's she going to do to try to stop it at that point? But if you do things like normal, she can fight it. And that's the same thing that happened at Trips last year, but they didn't do it early. They didn't make the announcement early. They just, you know, they walked in and told him, you're getting inducted this year. That was something Steph arranged for him. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, though, and this is my personal opinion, and I'm a little frustrated with this. Look, Trips deserves his spot in the Hall of Fame. I'm not opposed to that. Steph deserves her spot. I agree that Shane deserves his spot. I will never say, if you had asked me like 8 years ago, I probably would have said, yes, he deserves the spot. But I will never, going forward, I'm not going to badmouth the decision if it happens, but I'm not going to support a decision to induct Vince. Has he done a lot for this business? Sure. You know, for that part of it, should he have a spot in the Hall of Fame? Yeah. But because of the other stuff that he pulled and all the crap he was pulling backstage during that whole time period, I cannot get on board and say I support that. But here's my problem. While I believe these people deserve their spot in the Hall of Fame, we have been promised a Bray Wyatt induction into the Hall of Fame, and they keep putting it off because, oh, we're going to induct this person this year. And since they're headlining, we can't induct Bray this year. We're going to have to put it off to another year because he deserves to be the headliner. Listen, love you guys, but it's time to induct the man.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that Vince should be in the Hall of Fame at some capacity. If anything, for taking over his father's promotion and taking it to the national level. If anything, make it like that. Make it that's why he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, for his contributions to the WWF, now the WWE. That's why I think that he should be at least inducted into the Hall of Fame. Not for his other characters, not for anything like this, but for what he did for the company after taking it over from his father. Let us know in the thoughts what you think. If Shane O'Mac or maybe Vince should be inducted into the Hall of Fame, we would love to hear from you. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't yet. Hit the subscribe button and like this video. That tells YouTube that you like what we're doing, and this shares our video to more people. So if you are planning to host your friends at WrestleMania 42 at Allegiant Stadium, boy, you got a pretty hefty bill to pay as the WWE returns to Allegiant Stadium in 2026 for a second straight year. Updated pricing details are revealing just how far the company is going with its premium strategy. And now, thanks to a new report from Russell Votes, stadium suite prices are officially on another fucking level. Check this out, guys. For those looking to enjoy WrestleMania in true VIP fashion, that's the owner's suite, complete with 26 tickets and all-inclusive perks, is listed at a jaw-dropping $52,500. So if that's too much, there's a club suite available with 12 seats and an open bar for $26,500. But a traditional suite that's 26 tickets is $38,000, while a corner suite for 18 guests costs $22,000. This update adds even more shock to what's already one of the most expensive WrestleMania events ever. RingsideNews.com recently revealed that floor seats in Section A1, they're going for nearly $9,000, while other floor options like Section B are close to $4,000. Lower level seats like R101 are listed at $2,200.75, with the 100 and 200 levels ranging from $1,400 to $1,100, almost $1,200. Even the nosebleed seats in the 300 and 400 sections are coming in at $1,100, over almost $12,000, the same price that you would pay for a 200 level range, $1,174.80. And
is that it?
$1,174. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And $854.15 before these are before any Ticketmaster fees. So these numbers may not hit the previously rumored $70,000 for front row packages, but they do continue WWE's trend of pricing its flagship event toward the ultra rich. So WrestleMania 41 kind of set the tone last year with the first row seats running up to $50,000 and second or third row seats hitting as high as $3,500. Dude.
This is TKO boxing type MMA type deal. Like, it's not surprising at all, but we have to take into consideration here, though, real quick, that it doesn't matter what walk of life it is when it comes to buying things. Everything is up. Okay.
I know.
It's fucking absurd. And what's even more absurd is people wanting to pay for this for an experience. I understand, but like, that is just, those prices are just ridiculous. Like, it doesn't even make any type of sense. And good for whoever can fucking afford to go to that. My mother was actually hitting me up the other day. It's like, oh, WrestleMania tickets go on sale. I was like, are you buying these tickets for me? She's like, it wouldn't be good seats. And I was like, well, even bad seats are
Good,
uberly fucking expensive, right?
I know, yeah, right.
Like, so I don't know.
But no person, minimum wage, everyday blue collar person in their right mind are going to pay that damn much to go to WrestleMania. These are not family friendly prices anymore. Nothing really is family friendly, but WWE sure as hell isn't. And we spoke on this in the last show that they're going to drive, and we just talked about it tonight. They're going to drive the generational fans away from those who pay for, who only pay for a premier experience because they have money to burn and not the fact that they love wrestling like we do. It's going to drive guys like us away from the company. And we're going to come back on this podcast and we're going to bitch about it because it's bullshit. Why the fuck do we have to sell our homes, sell our fucking land, sell our cars, practically hooker on the street just to be able to afford fucking WrestleMania or anything? It just doesn't stop at WrestleMania. It goes from Raw to SmackDown, the flagship shows. So what the fuck? Max, why do we have to, I feel like I'm getting robbed here because I've never been to a WWE show ever. And I should have fucking gone when Vince McMahon had the company because at least I could have afforded the fucking tickets.
I mean, we've been telling you for about the last year and a half, go see a show.
I know.
But you don't listen to Baron and I don't understand why you don't listen to us. We're smart guys. We know what we're talking about when we tell you should do something. But yeah, I mean, listen, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I made it clear that WWE is pricing me out. There's no way I'm going to be able to afford a WWE show. And even though I can afford AEW, why? Why would I? I mean, come on. I'm sorry. I have no interest in going to see some bitch hold 9 belts that she doesn't even deserve and the rest of the booking be lackluster. Don't get me wrong. These people put on some good matches, but the booking is not where it should be. I mean, if you think your competition for the WWE, and right now is a good time for you to step up your game if you want to be that competition.
Yeah.
Because with the WWE making missteps, TKO causing WWE to make missteps, now would be a really good time for you guys to step up your game and go, you know what? We're going to put on a hell of a show for you.
We have to
actually do it.
Yeah, they've got us, dude. I'm telling you, AEW has got to start capitalizing on TKO's missteps with the WWE because pretty soon, I guarantee it, the generational fans are going to revolt. They're going to stop going to the shows. They're probably going to stop watching the product altogether. They're going to jump ship. Where are they going to jump ship to? Are they going to go to NXT? They're going to go to TNA? They're going to go to AEW? As long as they can fucking afford it.
Well, here's the thing. AEW is just in the worst predicament with their streaming devices because we don't even know where the fuck they're going or what they're doing or what app they're going to be on ever. And their HBO, like most people should have that already, right? If you have the Hulu package deal or whatever the case may be. But like, I think that's even more complicated at that point if you went over to AEW. And are you justifying any way of paying for their product when their product is of that sort? TNA needs to be the company that capitalizes on this. They're the ones that can fucking benefit the most out of everything right now that's currently going on with both federations of WWE and AEW. I think they're the ones that need to have something to capitalize on this, right?
But if TKO swoops them up in a buyout, then where the fuck do they go?
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect that to happen anytime soon or be a problem. I don't even think TKO probably knows who the fuck TNA is, to be honest with you, when it comes to corporate.
Together.
TKO doesn't work together. That is a straight ownership of Triple H and probably Shawn Michaels or something. That is not saying that they own any part or stake in it. I'm just saying like they're the ones that are tied to the TNA. Can't imagine TKO has any type of involvement or even knowledge of the company.
I think they know more about TNA than you think. Honestly, I think they do. I just because there have been rumors that TKO is possibly they could buy TNA with this whole them working together. You know, it's a sign that they could possibly buy TNA and own the rights to them too. So if they do that, where do you go? I mean, TNA would at least hopefully still be affordable for families to go and watch a TNA product. NXT, I think it's still semi-affordable to go watch an NXT product. But something's got to be done, man. At least we have some good news. We now know that John Cena and AJ Styles will face off at WWE Crown Jewel in Perth. Triple H made it official after teasing the idea earlier. Cena took to social media and laid out a direct challenge for a showdown with AJ Styles, the 16-time, now 17-time world champion. Told fans that he doesn't pick his own opponents, but he listens to what the WWE Universe wants. He said, I don't choose my opponents, even though I always listen to the fans. But AJ Styles, are you listening? Better yet, Triple H, are you listening? And AJ Styles wasted no time in responding to Cena with a clear message of acceptance. He said, I hear them loud and clear. Let's do this. I'm ready. That set things in motion pretty quickly, and within hours, Triple H stepped in, dropped the bombshell. The fans they've been waiting for in a post featuring the official Crown Jewel poster. Triple H made it crystal clear. John Cena and AJ Styles is a match we all want to see, and at Crown Jewel, we will. So the rematch is set for Saturday, October 11th in Perth, Australia, live on ESPN and Netflix if you can stream it. It'll mark the fifth singles encounter between Cena and Styles, who are currently tied 2-2 for their storied series, which I'm excited about. How about you guys? Are you excited for Cena and Styles, Max?
I mean, both men are getting pretty close to the end of their career, but they're both very talented. They put on a hell of a show in that ring. I mean, even if one of them is a flat earther, I still think he's a very talented wrestler. And yeah, I'm kind of excited for this match.
Yeah. Baron.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is the beauty of wrestling sometimes, where two individuals go toe-to-toe on the social media platforms. They see the outcry of fans, and WWE listens and puts it into place. So, you know, there's always the positive negatives for everything, but like that's cool to see, right? And it still shows you John Cena, you know, where's the big boy pants in that group, right, of individual. I'm stoked for it. They put on a fucking killer of a show every time, and these are the people that, you know, John Cena should be facing, not a Brock Lesnar. This benefits them more than anything because they're going to put on a good match, and someone ain't going to come out there and end it in fucking 5 minutes, right? So I feel like this is great, and I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, tear the house down.
Yeah, we'll take a go ahead, Max.
By the way, if you check the messenger, I was able to confirm something we were discussing before the show, and it's huge.
Yeah, Matt Cardona. Finally, Zack Ryder gets back on TV, on WWE TV, kind of.
He was at NXT.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's good to see him back. We'll take a quick break, come back and talk some AEW news, plus still our predictions for NXT. No Mercy. It's on the way. Hang on. Hey, what's up? It's Dizzy from Ramblers Unleashed. And do you find yourself missing the Ramblers between episodes?
I wouldn't call it missing us.
Oh, come on, Max. Our listeners might say otherwise.
Oh, sure. Let's trust their opinions.
I mean, they are the ones who tune in every week. We should consider their opinions.
All right. I guess you have a point. Speaking of, did you have a point at the start of this?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
Don't blame me for this.
Look, if you miss us between episodes, you can always listen back to past episodes and check out our reels on youtube.com/Ramblers Unleashed.
They can? I suppose next year you're going to tell us they can chat with us on Discord as well.
Hey, funny you should mention that. Find the Discord link in the description of our videos.
Hey, nice shameless plug.
Oh, thank you. All right, welcome back. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Ramblers Unleashed, and we would love to have you part of the family. Don't forget to join the Discord, too. The Discord link is in the description of this video here on youtube.com/Ramblers Unleashed. Let's talk AEW because there's a couple of stories. Thank you so much, Courtney. We love you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. There's a couple of stories going around that AEW and WWE, of course, went head-to-head on September 7th as Wrestlepalooza and All Out aired the same night. But one claim from a fan attending AEW All Out in Toronto is stirring controversy, and if it's true, this could expose just how far WWE is willing to go to win the battle against Tony Khan's promotion. So a fan who was sitting in section 107 at the Scotia Bank Arena directly behind the hard camera told ringsidenews.com they were asked to relocate by an AEW staff member shortly after the event began. So according to the fan, they and around 15 others were moved to section 119, which directly faces the hard camera. The real twist came from who was sitting nearby. The fan said that they were told by a Scotiabank Arena employee that WWE had allegedly bought those seats in their original section with the goal of leaving them empty on the pay-per-view broadcast. While the story is yet to be confirmed, the timing and intensity of the WWE versus AEW rivalry is given its traction among fans. So the two companies were in direct competition that night, with All Out's main event overlapping the early portion of Wrestlepalooza. But this isn't the only strange claim to come from the All Out crowd. Another attendee said that they were forced to give up their floor seats due to an awful odor in their section, leading to yet another disruption in the viewing experience. So far, neither WWE nor AEW has commented publicly on the ticket buying allegation. There's also no proof yet that WWE purchased any seats at the event. If WWE really did scoop up these seats to make AEW look bad on TV, is it a smart strategy or a sign the war is getting out of hand? Let us know what you think in the comments. But Max, why would the WWE go to lengths to buy out seats at an AEW show? They're really not worried about them at all. I call bullshit on this.
I think it's bullshit too. I mean, first off, think about this, okay? They don't view AEW as competition. And even when they were bigger and they were doing well, they didn't view them as competition, but they really don't view them as competition right now. Why would you need to sabotage them? You don't. This is a bullshit made-up story. I bet you the rumor was started by Tony Khan to try and make an excuse for why he's not selling tickets right now. Either way, this is clearly made up.
I think it's total bullshit. Baron, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's total bullshit.
I think that's just fuck, honestly.
I mean, fuck, they got enough money to do it if they're charging $70,000 for tickets to WrestleMania, I guess. I wouldn't put it past anybody, but I can't imagine that would be the case. I don't think they're that worried or care about AEW like AEW fans or people think, right? Like, I really, truly don't.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about them.
They really, truly don't give a shit about them. I mean, if it was true, it would be some shisty fucking shit, right?
Well, I mean, if it was true, it would just be competition, and that's exactly what the WWE is to others. They're direct competition, and they have that Vince McMahon mindset that I'm going to just destroy the competition, crush them, and if that's what they're set out to do, then that's what they're set out to do. But it is kind of surprising that Beth Phoenix showed up at All Out in wild fashion with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage reuniting to battle FTR in Toronto. But she stole the show, and the return has stole the conversation. Now we know her involvement wasn't random at all. According to Fightful Select, Beth Phoenix's appearance has been in the pipeline for AEW for a while. The WWE Hall of Famer shocked the crowd when she ran in to take out Stokely Hathaway mid-match, leading to a thunderous ovation, which seemed like a brief cameo, but things kind of escalated quickly after that. After the match, which ended with Copeland spearing his way to victory, FTR got the last word by delivering a brutal double tombstone to Phoenix while her husband was handcuffed to the ropes. Apparently, the company has had this twist in their back pocket for some time, but to me, it's kind of a similar timeline to the AJ Lee return. So I think they're just hyping it up to that, man. I really do. And if you tell me that AEW is not paying attention to WWE, you're full of it. I really think that they're paying attention to it. But
oh no, 100% AEW is paying attention to WWE.
Yeah.
But it's not happening the other way around. WWE is treating AEW like they're in that.
Exactly. Yeah. But AEW has more pressing issues on their hands as the future of Warner Brothers Discovery is no longer set in stone, and the company is ready to pivot if the network giant goes through a shakeup. So speaking on the Fightful Select Q&A section of the Backstage report, Sean Ross Sapp revealed that AEW is no longer locked into an exclusive deal with Warner Brothers Discovery. And this comes amid ongoing uncertainty around WBD's future, including rumors of potential restructuring or a full sale that could affect programming across TBS, TNT, and True TV, which they've all appeared on those networks. Now AEW has the freedom to explore new media partners, including giants like Amazon, Prime, Netflix, or maybe YouTube if needed. But Sapp said they're already planning ahead in case things do get shaky with the WBD. So the flexibility that AEW has built in means they're prepared for worst case scenarios. So if the TV landscape shifts, they're not going down with it. Importantly, Sapp emphasized that AEW is not in the same position that WCW was during the AOL Time Warner merger. That difference could be crucial to AEW's long-term survival. But unlike WCW, AEW isn't owned by its network partner, giving Tony Khan full control and the ability to keep the wheels turning no matter where the product ends up. But in a new twist, the Warner Brothers Discovery drama, and this one could have massive consequences for the wrestling world. Just a week ago, Paramount reported that they're preparing a cash offer for Warner Brothers Discovery. Puck News, though, guys, revealed that Netflix might be now considering their own bid, a move that could directly impact All Elite Wrestling's TV home. So if Netflix were to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery, it would inherit a powerhouse of assets like TNT, TBS, and the streaming service Max. That's where the AEW connection comes in. That NBC. Programming, NDC. But that programming has been a mainstay on TNT and TBS since its launch, and now it's tied to Max. A change in ownership could leave Tony Khan's promotion in limbo, depending on how Netflix views AEW's live wrestling within its larger content model. So if this deal goes through, guys, AEW might be facing a really big challenge. But here's my question for you, and we'll start with Max. Does Netflix see them as part of their vision, or does Tony Khan need to start shopping around for a new broadcast partner? And if so, where will that be?
I'll be honest, Netflix is, sure, they have a deal with WWE, don't get me wrong. But Netflix is always looking to expand their library, their content. So I could go either way on this. Netflix might actually be willing to keep them around, but because of their deal with the WWE, I wouldn't count on that. As far as where AEW could go, do you know how hard it was for them to get this deal with Warner Brothers Discovery to begin with?
It was hard.
I don't see them finding a TV deal if they don't stay with Warner Brothers Discovery wherever Warner Brothers Discovery ends up. Because as hard as it was to get this deal, I think at this point, with your numbers dropping, it's going to be even harder to find anybody to take a chance on them.
Do you think, Baron, that they could go either stream directly to their YouTube channel, or do you think that they could put their like Collision and Dynamite on Prime and have them watch it there live? Since Prime is looking to stream more sports content, they're looking to compete with those like NFL and things like that, even though you can watch NFL on Prime. Do you think that they could possibly put Dynamite and Collision on Prime?
I mean, I would assume more people have Prime just being attached with their Amazon account than every other app on earth, right? At this point, I mean, who doesn't have Amazon Prime? I mean, that's pretty exclusive for Prime, for Amazon. So yeah, dude, I think that's wouldn't be a bad fit. It would be better than Netflix. I feel like over time you're going to lose a lot of people off of Netflix. Amazon is something that's so popular, so concurrent, that the vast majority of people have to have that.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has Prime, and everybody watches a lot of programming on Prime. So, I mean, it would make sense that if the Warner Brothers Discovery deal goes down and Netflix buys them, they either move their weekly shows to YouTube or Prime and keep the model that they have for their pay-per-views. I mean, that makes sense to me. Tyler Helton, again, thank you for joining the show. He brought up a really interesting story that we're going to move into right now as we get into some TNA news. And that is Masha Slamovich. She's now facing serious accusations that go far beyond the wrestling ring. So Slamovich, who's known for her brutal in-ring style, guys, she's been accused of domestic violence by her former partner, independent wrestler Akira. So the allegations surfaced after Akira's current manager posted screenshots of alleged text conversations and graphic photos on social media. The messages began with Masha telling Akira that he could keep the dogs because they were in his name. Akira's response hinted at a deeper issue, saying, quote, "You hit me, you're wrong," end quote. Masha justified her actions by blaming his words. "You cursed at me. That's why you got hit. Again, cool to see you claim intelligence and can't see metaphor," end quote. But later that night, Akira sent a message apologizing for speaking up, saying he didn't want to fight and just wanted her to stop stressing. Masha fired back with more emotional frustration, claiming that he didn't know how to help her and that she was embarrassed to be paired with him in the ring. If you want to find the whole transcript for yourself, please do. Go to our partner, ringsidenews.com, and look for this under the TNA tab. But I read the text, and it seems like a lot of pointing fingers at people. You did this, you did that, and you weren't there for me, and so on and so forth. And the pictures that were released showed Akira's injuries to his face, his head, his lip, and his wrists. But as of now, Masha is not publicly responded to the accusations, but the disturbing messages and images have sparked some online discussion around abuse and relationships between two people and the mental health of talent in the wrestling industry. It's brought on some serious concerns about how domestic conflict is handled in the wrestling world and the deep industry supports and how the industry supports professional performers in emotionally charged environments. I mean, we hope that the matter gets settled quickly and in a timely fashion. But Max, you are our resident Rambler who's been involved in promotions and been involved in storylines and been involved with possibly two wrestlers in a relationship. Have you ever had to deal with something like this?
There weren't accusations of DV in the ones I've dealt with in the past, but there was definitely some bad blood between people that had a relationship prior. Thankfully, these two are not currently in the same company, but I think the bigger picture here is why can't Masha seem to keep herself out of some sort of controversy? Because we talked about this when she got. Oh no, this is Masha, not the other one. I, they're pro wrestlers. All right. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors with these two, but they're pro wrestlers. Maybe she hit him. Maybe it was part of fun. They're pro wrestlers. We enjoy getting hit. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of why we're in this line of work. So
yeah,
I don't know. This is one of those things that you're supposed to. I fully believe the victim, but it's tougher when it's a pro wrestling combo. I mean, if it was a pro wrestler and a non-pro wrestler, then I'd probably believe there might be some truth, and I'm not doubting that there's any truth, but I mean, we got in this business for a reason, and it's not just to entertain people.
But if it's true, I just hate the fact that it was so publicly put out there. You know, it doesn't. I mean, if they want to shed light on a situation, do that in public or private. Don't do it publicly. And I blame the manager for posting all those pictures and the texts, because what is said and sent between two people should stay between those two people. And if there's a lawyer that has to get involved, or if a judge has to get involved, let the appropriate people get involved in whatever's going on outside of the ring, and let it be settled out that way. But then again, I'm just kind of concerned about this. And Tyler, you said Masha Slamovich is a good wrestler and she's a good person. I don't have any doubts that she's a good person. I think that if you get into toxic relationships, toxicity happens, and that is between two people. And obviously they don't sound right for each other. They really don't. So I just hope that everything gets settled. I hope everything is cool. I hope everything dies down, but for the love of God, don't make it so damn public. Please let those two work out their issues in private, and fuck that manager too. If you watch this, dude, you're a fucking douchebag for sharing it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, though, you're a public figure. The public figures live under scrutiny at all times, right? I truly hope that they definitely get that together for sure.
Absolutely,
that's not great.
Not good at all. Not good at all. So Wrestlepalooza, Max, you have our tallies for Wrestlepalooza. Did you pull?
I do, and here's the problem. And I mentioned this before the show. You can't just pick Liv Morgan just because you love her. She's not on the card. You don't get a point for that. Yeah, I do have the tallies. I suppose if you guys want, we can talk about them.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the tallies, and then we'll give you our predictions for No Mercy, for NXT No Mercy.
Was one of those two, Tyler. I don't know. Let's start at the top. The best match of the night, in my opinion, Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer for the vacant women's world championship. Once again, vacant. I salute you. Another brilliant run on your part. Match of the night. Stephanie Vaquer won it. She deserved it. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures. But when she was pinning Io Sky, Io was smiling, and I think that says a lot about what kind of person Stephanie Vaquer is, because when you are happy with your loss, that means that you got a lot of love and respect for your opponent, and Stephanie Vaquer has earned that in a very short time, and that's awesome. We all picked Stephanie Vaquer. No surprise there. We were all right. Up next was the Usos versus the Bron-Brons. I am sad to say that I'm the only one that got this wrong, so you guys both got the points for that one. Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth and Becky in a mixed tag match. We all went with Punk and AJ Lee. We all got the point. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. We all went with Cody. We all got the point. Cena versus Lesnar. This is the one I'm going to complain about before I talk about the points for this. That's not how I would have booked that. You're in the middle of Cena's retirement run. I'm not saying he shouldn't lose matches, but Cena versus Lesnar was a callback to what a lot of people call the beginning of Suplex City. I don't agree with Brock Lesnar being the winner on this. I would have booked Cena to get his revenge and go over. I was not the booker of this match, so that's not what happened. Brock won this match, and that means only Baron got the point on this one. I had a really bad night because I went with what they should have booked, and so I only got 3 matches right out of 5. Dizzy had a slightly better night, but, nobody really cares how Dizzy's night was because it wasn't the best and it wasn't the worst. He's the middle stepchild on this whole thing.
Wow.
Points. And
Jesus.
Nobody really cares that the Baron got 5 out of 5 because, damn it, Baron got 5 out of 5.
Yeah, we talked about this on Saturday. The reason why it was so easy to predict was because, somebody in the chat said it, but I also said it on a Saturday show multiple times. It felt like just a Saturday night main event show, right? Even with the booking that was happening. The John Cena, Brock Lesnar thing totally pissed me off. That ruined my entire night. EO and Vaquer was fantastic. And to go back on the first thing Dizzy presented about on the show, they're talking about the ratings that ESPN gave them. Wasn't that a C?
It was a C.
Yeah. I don't think they were too far off on that rating. I personally don't. I don't think this show was as bad as people made it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Usos match with Braun was great. Even with Jay getting hurt or busted open. I watched that video multiple times, and I'm not sure how the hell that even happened.
Was weird.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it happened when he swung the chair, he clipped himself.
But I watched that so many times. That chair was not anywhere near his head unless there was some scrap metal or something on there that could have poked it, I guess.
No, there was a point where I believe he was bringing it up, and I think he caught it himself with the – yes, Ronald, we get it. You don't like Triple H. That's your opinion.
Ronald, calm down, Ronald. It's okay.
Where I think he clipped himself with the leg of the chair and got himself pretty good. It was weird because it wasn't a normal spot where you would think that he would have hit himself, but I think he had it too close to himself at one point.
Yeah, it was just looked really weird after watching it a couple times. I'm like, damn, how?
The only, like ESPN said, though, the only thing that really saved this show was Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer, which is the outcome that we all wanted in the first place, was Stephanie Vaquer to get that title, which I'm so happy that she got.
Yeah, happy she got. And here's my thing. I really want to, ESPN's a different breed. It's entertainment, right? Sports network, whatever the fuck it stands for. But I think people were expecting they were expecting some big returns on this, being that it was debuted on ESPN, right? Yeah. And I think people are let down for that, and they kind of lost sight of some of the matches because some of the matches were pretty good. Tag match was good, and Cody and Drew was a great match. That was a really good match between the two of them, right? I think a lot of people just kind of got pissed because there wasn't the returns like people were expecting to happen. Because Triple H presented this show as there was going to be big announcements and all this other shit, right?
So the big announcement was Stephanie getting inducted.
That was the big announcement. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't just say the announcement though. Like there was big things that were going to happen.
Surprises. We were expecting
surprises, right? Yeah. And that's where the fan base got pissed. I don't blame you. Wrestling base wise in ring work, this was not a C. Overall, sure.
And if your surprise was the Undertaker coming out on a motorcycle, that's kind of lame. I mean, I love Taker, but it's kind of lame. Really,
you know what would have surprised me if Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal showed up during the main event and had Drew McIntyre's back. The 3-man band is back together, baby. That would have surprised me.
That would have been
cool.
That would have been.
And Heath has kids, so he needed that.
That's true. That's true. Let's talk No Mercy, the PLE that is coming on when is this?
Saturday.
Well, yeah, that's coming Saturday at the FTL War Memorial in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's the first No Mercy brand to broadcast on Netflix, which is exciting. Let's do our predictions, though, for this one. It's a big show, man. And if you watched NXT tonight, the TNA NXT chapter, oh, my God, it's getting so much better. So let's go down the card and get your guys' thoughts. We'll start with Max, and we will go with, and these are in no particular order, with JC Jane with Fallon Henley versus Lola Vice. Singles match for the NXT Women's Championship, which I would assume may be close to the main event, but never know.
I don't know if you noticed, but there's 4 title matches on this card.
Yes, there are.
Out of 6 matches. So, and those title matches are going to be good. I'm looking forward to them. However, that being said, I see JC Jane retaining her title against Lola Vice.
Okay. Sol Ruka with Zarya versus Lainey Reed in a singles match for the Women's Speed Championship. Max, who you got?
Lainey's going to get her soul snatched when Sol wins and retains the Speed Championship.
Okay. Oba Femi versus Ricky Saints for the NXT Championship.
You know, for months now, we've been talking about who's going to take the title from Oba Femi. And I think we have our answer. I think Ricky Saints is going to be the new NXT champion come Saturday night.
You think Oba is going to move up to the main card?
Probably.
To the main roster? Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Ethan Page versus Tavion Heights in a singles match for the NXT North American Championship.
Before I answer this, I want to share a little fun fact I learned tonight while I was prepping for the PLE picks. I don't know if anybody knows this, but if you actually go to a person's Wikipedia page that is a pro wrestler, it does tell you who they were trained by. Now, first off, Tavion Heights, whose real name is Giangelo Hancock, if you want to look this up. He was born in July of 97. He's an accomplished amateur wrestler. He won a bronze medal in the 97 kilogram event at the 2021 World Wrestling Championships in Oslo. The 2020 Pan American Wrestling Championships in Ottawa, he won a gold medal in the same event. He's a silver medalist in the 2019 Pan American Games held in Lima, Peru, and he represented the United States at the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Now, the reason that I wanted to share a fun fact is because that's not the part I wanted to share. This man, first off, he's billed from Fountain, which is just south of where I normally am. But he was trained at the WWE Performance Center. Obviously, he's on NXT. He was trained by Naomichi Manufuji. And this is the name I wanted to share. This is what made this so important to be talked about. Tavion Heights was trained by the great Muda. And I know everybody on this show knows the name, the Great Muda. If you don't know it, we're going to get you some clips and you have homework.
Yeah.
That being said, Tavion's great in the ring. I just don't see him being the one to take the title off of All Ego Ethan Page.
Okay.
I'm going Ethan Page on this.
Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace in a now weaponized steel cage match.
I love Blake Monroe, but I'm sorry, I just do not see her beating Jordan Grace in this match.
And Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs in a singles match.
Bouncy versus Briggs. This one's going to be fun. This probably won't be match of the night, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I've got Bouncy for the win on this.
Okay. We'll go with Baron now. JC Jane with Fallon Henley versus Lola Vice. Singles match for the NXT Women's Championship. Who you got?
I got Lola. Give me Lola.
Give you Lola. All right.
Lola. Lola.
Sol Ruka with Zarya versus Lainey Reed for the Women's Speed Championship.
Dude, now this is a tough one here because I feel like Sol Ruka, I think she's got a strong possibility of being moving up, right? Like she's fucking phenomenal, right? So she does not need this title in my mind.
Well, here's the thing. Before you answer, she holds 2 titles right now.
Yeah, right.
As far as I'm concerned, she deserves both. She has this one in the Women's North American title. Here's the thing. Feasibly, she could drop the Women's North American title and take the Speed title to the main roster because technically the Speed Championship is the WWE Women's Speed Championship, whereas the North American title is only the NXT North American title. So if she was going to drop one of them and go to the main roster, it would be the other one, not this one. In my opinion, that's just me.
Yeah, well, Speed is canceled, right? Like that is, they're not doing that.
Yeah, Speed has been moved over to NXT.
Right.
But they didn't rebrand it, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I would say, though, like she doesn't need to hold that title. The North American has more face value than this belt here. Put it on someone else. I'm going to probably get this prediction wrong, but because Soul is great, but I'm going to go with Laney on this one here.
Okay. Oba Femi versus Ricky Saints for the NXT Championship.
I'm probably going 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 this week. I went flawless last time, so this week is definitely going to be wrong because I want Ricky Saints to win. He deserves to win. I'm just confused with Oba. I don't know what they want to do with him or how they present him because he cannot go to the main roster. Simple as that. If he does, he's gone. Like, I mean, or lost in the sauce, right?
Right.
Fuck. I'm gonna go with Oba on this match.
Ethan Page versus Tavion Heights for the NXT North American Championship.
Let's go with Ethan on this match.
Okay.
I don't know enough from Tavion.
Okay, that's fair. Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace in a weaponized steel cage match.
This is another one that I don't know what they're doing, right? Jordan Grace, I feel like should have been kicked up to the main roster a while back. Nonetheless, I think this will be a fun match to watch, but I'm going to go with Mariah. I don't think she has any PLE wins, right?
I don't think so, no.
Has she had any PLE matches?
Yeah, she has, but I don't know if I don't remember. Max is going to look that up for us.
I think if she has, she only has had one. Possible.
Yeah, she's only had one PLE match, and she's had several NXT matches.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she's had a PLE win. She might have. I don't know.
So,
she was on, God, the last, was like, what, a couple PLEs ago, maybe, or the last PLE?
She's had 3 matches in NXT. One was a tag team match at Great American Bash, where she and Jordan Grace teamed together.
Yeah, that's it.
And they won that. She lost her first televised solo match to Kaylani Jordan in August after Jordan Grace got involved. And then she defeated Jordan Grace in her first premium live event singles match at NXT Heatwave on August 24th.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 matches though. That's not a lot.
Still new to the company too. So
yeah, she's been there for a little bit though.
But they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with her, because apparently there's been some backstage stuff that she's not ready, and she's still in very much development.
Yeah, and that's why she's put in this storyline with Jordan Grace to help
Yes.
Jordan Grace elevate her a little bit.
Right.
Let's go Jordan Grace on this match.
Okay.
I give her the ultimate beatdown. The only way I see this Jordan Grace not winning is if outside interference.
Right.
So we'll see.
And finally, Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs in a singles match.
This is one of those matches I just don't really care.
Yeah.
Javon Evans is fucking phenomenal wrestler, and Briggs is just as great. I just am kind of lost on this storyline here. What's happening? Let's go Javon Evans.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of lost on the storyline too with them.
Yeah, I don't know actually much from it. This is what happens, man. We get too many of these fucking little PLEs, and it's we have to be transparent with this. We bitch and bitch and bitch about AEW doing this type of stuff.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah.
And WWE is doing the same, and it's actually starting to fucking bother the hell out of me, because we're starting to get matches that just don't make sense anymore.
Right.
And that's because it's all too rushed.
I agree. Everything in wrestling has got to be organic, and you can't rush perfection, For JC Jane and Lola Vice for the NXT Women's Championship, I don't know. I saw their interaction tonight on NXT. I don't know if Lola's ready. I'm just going to go with JC Jane. She retains. Sol Ruka versus Lainey Reed for the Women's Speed Championship. I didn't give a shit about Speed. I really don't give a shit about this. So Sol Ruka retains.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes the way you talk on the show, I think you give more of a shit about Speed than, you're talking about the actual show. Never mind.
Fucking Max.
Femi versus Ricky Saints for the NXT Championship. I'm with, I think it was Baron that said this. If Oba loses, drops the title to Ricky Saints, and he is really called up to the main card, either Raw or SmackDown, he's definitely going to get lost in the fold, and we won't hear from Oba ever again. And Oba right now is so over in NXT. It would be a shame to lose him to the main card and get just lost in the shuffle. But then again, you look at a guy like Ricky Saints, and he's ready to take that title. He is so ready to take that title, which makes this so hard. But I think we're going to see a title change. I think Ricky Saints is going to get this title. But I don't think Oba Femi is done yet. I think they're going to keep him in there for the NXT TNA storyline that they're building, because Oba is going to fight for NXT. Ethan Page versus Tavion Heights for the NXT North American Championship. I love Tavion Heights, so talented, but I don't think Ethan Page is going to drop that North American Championship. So I'm going with all ego, Ethan Page. As far as Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace in a weaponized steel cage match, yeah, we're going to give this to Jordan Grace. I'm not sold on Blake Monroe, now formerly known as Mariah May from AEW. There's just something about her that is so different from how she was in AEW versus now. And I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's character development.
Well, she doesn't have Tony Storm there to kind of carry her through the load. Like, that was a phenomenal storyline, and that's how she kind of got picked up into the NXT scene, right? But I felt like that load was heavily carried on Tony Storm's back. And help elevate her in a way. I think this is what Jordan Grace is trying to do, is help elevate her too in the NXT. I think she actually fits on the main roster better than she does NXT. And I think personally, Ricky Saints, the more I think about it, he's more likely to get called up to the main roster over Oba any day. So that's kind of why I picked Oba too.
Yeah. I'm going to just go with Jordan Grace on the.
I'm going to be honest. I think Ricky Saints might be main roster ready, but I got a feeling we're not going to see that until day after Mania time frame.
That'll be good. Wow. So you think he'll make an appearance on Mania?
No, I think he's on the Raw after Mania.
Oh, the Raw after Mania. Okay. Man, that'll be huge. That'll be huge. Finally, Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs. I'm not invested, but I like both of them. I'll go with Javon Evans. Just for the hell of it. There you go. Our predictions for NXT No Mercy this Saturday evening. I will not be here to watch NXT.
What? Where are you going to be? Disney?
Elsewhere. Not here.
Fair. It depends on the start time. The start time is another thing that really aggravates me with WWE. I'm investing my entire afternoon to watch them. 6 o'clock is not okay start time. Give me back my 7 to 8. Make it late night. Let's get crazy. Let's do some fun shit. The 6 o'clock shit, stop.
I feel you. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the show. And Max, how can they follow you on social media, sir?
First off, shout out Stephanie LeCaire. Congratulations on your first main roster title win. Awesome match. You can find me at Max Magius. You can find my other podcast at R Shots Podcast. It's kind of nerdy. You'll probably like it. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts or random-shots.net. And as always, all complaints to Deactivated Styles.
There you go. Baron, how can they follow you, sir?
You guys should know it. Find me at Scumbag Jordan with 3 N's on the Twitter.
You can find us on the Twitter X universe, whatever you want to call it, at The Ramblers Pod. Follow us on Facebook at Ramblers Unleashed, and you can find us here on YouTube at youtube.com/Ramblers Unleashed. And to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. That tells YouTube that you like what we're doing and suggests our videos to more people, and tell your friends about us as well. Join the Discord. The Discord link is in the description of this video on YouTube. And we hope that you enjoy NXT if you watch it. And we will be back here on Tuesday to talk all about wrestling even more, as we normally do on a Tuesday evening. So enjoy professional wrestling. And no matter what you watch, enjoy it. And we will be back here to talk about it on a Tuesday. So until then, see ya. Bye-bye. So long.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramblers Unleashed. Follow the show on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the bell icon for notifications of upcoming episodes.
And Max, when you come back, can you come back as a nice person, please?
Hey, Chicago Max.